Today we've got a Z-Force 950 Sport 4 and we've got our Moorhead off-road arms and 34s. Check this bad boy out. Shoo! It's a beast and it's looking good. Let me know down below what you think about it. Oh yeah. All right, in this video we're going to show you how to install them and talk all about them. But man, this gives you the ultimate beefiness and gives you super good clearance. As you can see, these are 34-inch cryptids on 18-inch MSA wheels. Absolutely no clearance problems. And we've got some beefy heavy-duty arms. You're never going to have to worry about bending these bad boys. They're stout, they're heavy-duty. We've got our heavy-duty tie rods as well. And like I said, in this video, we're going to show you how to install them. Golly, that's awesome. Tell me what you think down below. One of the prettiest 950 Sport 4s I've ever seen, which I just love that red. Yeah, okay, let's show you how to install them in this video, guys. And by the way, if you want them, they're exclusively available at teammscparts.com. Let's get into this thing. One thing I forgot to mention was that this video works for the 2-seater and the 4-seater. It's the same arms, they bolt right up. So if you have the 2-seater and you want this same setup, we got you covered right here. You can follow this video. It's the same arms and everything, and the link works the same down in the description below. So now let's get back into it. Joel is rolling the Z-Force 950 Sport 4 in here. Let me get it to focus for y'all. And we're about to do an install on the Moorhead off-road arms, which are exclusively available for all of your CFMOTO units right here at teammscparts.com. We're going to show you how to install these, and the first step, of course, is to remove your OEM arms. So we're going to get this thing lifted up on the lift. Of course, you can just use a jack and safely secure it with some jack stands at your house. But that's the whole point of this video, is to show you how to install them on your own. That way you can save some money and do it yourself. But if you're not confident in that, you can bring it right here to Main Street Cycle, and we'll install them for you and help you out there and make sure everything's just right for you. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to lift this thing up. I'm going to put a microphone on, and hopefully the audio sounds good for you. First thing we're going to do is just remove these tires and get started on the removal process.
You can't just tell me and I'll come take some.
Okay.
That. But I need pictures of that for the
Okay.
website.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll get you some pictures, sir. All right, Harmon, we're taking the driver's side apart. We're going to show everybody step by step what to do. And we've got the tire off. Yep. And we're going to take the bottom shock mount out. So we got, what is that, a 15? Yeah, 15 millimeter. Just going to remove that bad boy. Try to keep everything nice and organized when you remove it, so you don't go to searching for everything when you go back on with everything. All right. So we got that out. I'm going to point out something here. I am going to not run my front sway bars. That is a personal choice that I just want to make because of the style of riding that I do. I don't do as much fast-paced riding with my Z-Force Sport 4. I do a lot of just trail riding, you know, hill climbing, crawling. You know, you've seen my videos. And I would like to remove the sway bar just to add some more flexibility when I'm doing that type of riding. If I was doing a lot of high speed road riding, stuff like that, and I didn't want as much body roll, I'd leave that alone, okay? So again, personal preference. The A-arms that we're installing comes with, it's designed to be able to just mount your sway bars right back into position. So just keep that in mind. I'll probably restate that in a little bit, but we're gonna remove that just for this application. So at this point, you can kind of make that decision on your own. We're just going to leave them mounted up to this upper A-arm on both sides and our sway bar links, and just leave it with it, and we'll set that to the side. Taking the carter pin out and the upper ball joint, and they have to do the same thing on the lower ball joint. And you can try to reuse those or get you new ones. Those are pretty inexpensive. We got an 18 millimeter, and we're going to be removing that nut on the bottom side of the upper ball joint. Now those are riveted on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just pull that brake line out of the way.
We may end up drilling these out and putting them on.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Or you can go with a zip tie up to the customer there. You can reuse these if you want. There you go. As you see, Harmon just took a hammer, tapped the side of the knuckle. So this upper ball joint's kind of being a little bit of a pain. It ain't wanting to just fall out like they sometimes do. And Harmon just removed the little brake guard there just to give them some room. Boot guard, okay.
For your axle.
Yeah, my bad. Yep, so he just removed that out of the way just to give a little bit of room to work around and get this ball joint out.
We're going to remove this.
Okay, Harmon is going to remove this winch plate and this front bumper section so that we can more easily film and get to the bolt here on your lower A-arm.
Cut out to get you.
Yeah, it's got room. You can do it without taking this off, but it's just a little bit easier. A couple of bolts, you can have this all out of your way.
Yeah. Loosen this up. And then you have two on each side, right in here, and the top and bottom.
Yep.
We'll take them off both sides.
Okay.
And then we'll undo these two winch wires.
Okay, just getting the winch wires undone. Again, can you work around this? Yes.
Yep.
But just if you want things just all out of your way, this is the way to do it. Taking those two bolts there and there. Boom. Now you have all that out of the way and you can easily get to all of your bolts on your upper and lower. We got an 18mm nut back here.
And then we have a 15 head.
15 on the bolt head. And we're going to just go through and remove all of them and pull our upper and lower arms off. So Harmon just was giving a tip real quick to get the tie rod, boot, and all out of your way. Since we're just installing the arms real quick, is he turned the steering wheel all the way to the left. And that bolt will come on out. So 7mm, we've got taken the grease fittings, grease zerks out, and there's a million names for them. Yeah. Whatever we decide to call them, somebody's going to say it's wrong. But yeah, I've called them grease fittings, grease alamites, whatever. But anyways, we're taking our bushing tubes out and our bushings. And since this is pretty new, I've only got, well, y'all have seen the videos of me driving this thing. Don't have a ton of miles on it yet, and I cleaned it up good, so it hadn't been submerged in mud just yet. Now you can just order new ball joints if you would like, and I'll try to put a link down in the description below for new ball joints. And there's even an option where you can have Mr. Harmon and a few other mechanics just insert the ball joints for you before they ship them out to you. But we're going to just press these out real quick. Again, if you don't have a press and you don't want to have to deal with the whole ball joint situation, there is an option to have Main Street Cycle install them for you and then ship them out to you. So keep that in mind. That's on the website. But we'll just press them out real quick for time's sake. We'll just skip on to having the ball joints pressed out and then new ones pressed in, or the same ones pressed in. But again, some people decide that, hey, I've got several miles on my OEM ball joints, let me go ahead and get some new ones. And you can order those, press in new ball joints. But if your ball joints are fine on your OEM arms and you just want to swap them over, save a little bit of money, get a little bit more use out of yours, well, you can do what we're doing. Press them out, swap them over. So you got options. On the lower ball joint, you have to remove that boot out of the way, and that just gets it where you can actually press them out without damaging that boot. So that's why we remove that. I'm just going to bring it to the press and make sure you evenly press your ball joint out. Don't have it all cocked-sided, because you could damage your ball joint, or if you get too crazy and pressurized with it, you could kind of mess up the opening on your A-arm, and that wouldn't be cool. So just make sure it's nice and even, and make sure you press them in evenly as well. Oh, look at here, we got our arms, getting those out because we got to swap everything over now. Nicely packaged so they don't arrive scratched up or anything. Harmon's just making sure he gets the driver's side out. Those are some beefy dogs, ain't they? Yeah. do a little workout before we mount them up. And you can also see the beefiness of these bad boys. Build quality is solid. So, anywho.
Throw these joints in there.
Yep. Now we're going to press our ball joints in, and then our bushings. Oh, there's Thor. There's a Creasy coming too. It's Creasy. Wait, hold on, you're dark. There we go, now it's focused. Well, who was that?
This is little Creasy.
Oh man. Wow. Well, hello.
That's your next generation right there.
That's right, next generation riders right here. Yeah, everybody say, comment down below, say hey. Hey, little Creasy. Austin's baby. Uh-oh.
Get you on a unit.
That's right, that's right. Man, yeah, well, we just installing some arms on the old Z-Force over there. Doing a little install video for everybody. Oh, okay. All right, gotta pause this video for a second, gotta talk.
One eternity later.
We pulled this rubber to push this one out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you
Put the rubber boot back on.
Let's push this one in.
Okay, to install, you gotta remove the boot to not tear it up. So we're just gonna remove it. All right. Then we're gonna press this ball joint in. Booyah.
But now
Beautiful.
we can put this on video. She missed it. While ago.
Yeah, I missed it a while ago. I was talking.
One,
Doggone it.
and bad boy. One, two.
You're doing it so fast, I can't keep it focused. Nah, he's going in slow motion. There we go. All right, putting our grease fittings on. If you are replacing your grease fittings, you need an M6 1.0, and that'll be what you need to put in these arms. Okay, we made an audible, and we decided that we're going to do the tie rod. Go ahead and do that in this video. So because of that, we're now just remove the brake system, and we're going to tie it up out of the way. Yeah, we're going to just set it up here, and that way the brake line and all doesn't get stretched or damaged or anything. So went ahead and the same thing as your ball joints. You just give it a little love tap here on the knuckle, and that should come on out, and we will go ahead and do the removal process on the tie rods. We were going to save that for another video, but let's just put it all together in one. So we're going to go ahead and get our tie rods all set up and ready to go. Just thread in these sides. Now we're taking the OEM tie rod, and Harmon has to take this boot off.
No, I ain't taking my boot off.
Well, no, this
They
boot.
run everybody out of here.
Yeah, not those boots. So Harmon's just going to set this in a vise to help him work with it. We're going to put a little oil on it so that way that boot will just slide right on off. Booyah.
Okay, did you catch that?
Yeah, took that high and put it through the boot there.
Good. Run down. Oh,
You're good.
sorry, knocked you on that. Then we're just gonna rotate that boot back just like so. Put your bolt in. Put your nut on the back side, and then we'll work that boot over this knuckle. And of course, turn it where it sucks it in. We'll zip tie it back here.
Okay,
And
sweet.
Then this boot will be covering this knuckle and all the good stuff it needs to keep the elements out of. Zip tie. Squeeze that, slide it down. Since it's coming off the end, we're just going to set it there. Now, all we're going to do is just pull this back just like we did on the other one. I'm done with this unit. It's been aggravated me. So, I'm just going to heat this up. This up.
And this here is because it's Loctite from the factory.
It's just real tight and got Loctite. This will help
Break
it
those
loose.
threads, without having to work too hard on it. Huh?
Yeah. I don't want to stress that gearbox by.
Right.
It don't take a whole lot. Just kind of get it good and warm. And it got to be glowing red, you know. Just like that. And it'll usually break loose. You can see they had it gobbled
Yeah, let me
up,
show it
so-
to him. So they really don't want this to come loose. I mean, that's a lot of red Loctite,
and
and it is crammed in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good, but
You don't want to lose steering.
yeah. So you're just gonna heat that up and clean it out.
Yeah, just kind of melt that. It's in there. Real good.
All right.
We're just gonna put some Loctite in it
Okay.
and put some on the bolt real good.
Okay. Red Loctite, but also make sure you got this bad boy in the right angle.
Yeah, it don't really specify. I've did a few of them
Do a dry fit and kind of line it up. And
over the builds I've done. This is kind
yeah,
of
you've done a few.
where I would put it. Step more than we've ever done before. That's pretty tight.
Yeah.
60's pretty tight.
That's pretty tight. Like there.
You know, through here. Stick it out and then
8
Just like
millimeter.
that. Put that on. Then I got a 3/4 on my torque wrench. It's not coming off. That's 55, so that's
55.
So when we're doing this, I kind of like doing back and forth because there's a lot of turn the wheel this way and do something. Well, now everything over here is ready to be this boot put on. So
Okay.
we're going to come over here to do that now, which is the rack's all the way turned that way in,
Okay.
right, turn to the left. And so we're going
Yeah, people really want to see this part.
to just kind of massage that boot over that knuckle. You know, make sure it gets in there all the way. And then you kind of just feel, make sure it gets up. Oop. All right, now I can't hardly see in there, but I can feel on my fingers that rubber's over the little lip. I'm gonna go grab a zip tie.
We got to get the boot up and over that lip there and then secure it. We're just going to use a zip tie there. And that'll keep all the elements out of the steering rack. Don't want a bunch of grit and mud and dust and junk getting up in there. Removing the sway bar, and again on this step here, total personal preference here to your style riding. I'm choosing to eliminate my front sway bar because of the riding that I do, like I explained earlier. And
all you need is a
13
inch
millimeter?
and like a ratchet, top and bottom, nut and bolt.
yeah,
Just
you've
remove
already
those,
removed that.
and then all you have to do is just
Take it up out of there.
Pick that dude up, watch out for that brake line, and then
All right.
bang, there it is.
Yeah, and just keep it together. If you do remove it, keep it together in case you go out riding it and you don't like the body roll. Now,
Yeah.
again, I know the type of riding I want and the handling I want. The sway bar for me can be eliminated. But for you, you may go higher speeds. You may, do faster paced trail riding and not just Cadillacing around. So you probably want to keep yours on there. It's much more stable and less body roll, and they put it there for a purpose. So just putting that disclaimer out there, okay? Do that at your own risk. Best case scenario is to just leave it on there, but I'm not. Anyways, moving on.
To the hard one.
Okay, so Harmon's just gonna put this boot back over and then get it all secured. This one's a little bit tougher on the passenger side.
It's littler.
Yeah, the boot on the passenger side is a little tighter because of the lip that it has to go over is smaller. But same
it
steps.
will go.
Yeah, tuck that in like so. Now he's going to just work that boot up and over. I can't really film that. Just make sure you get it up over the lip. There you can see that Harmon has got the boot on and the zip tie in place.
Just had a small lock tie. You could take it to the bench grinder, with a wire wheel. Clean it. We're just gonna kind of hit it a little. If it ain't real bad, I wouldn't even waste my time. I like to do a good job for the customers. These things have grease alamites. Everybody knows that. That alamite don't get to the bolt. And it's just an extra measure, extra precaution I use. What we're gonna do is grease these bolts. Because I've been around this enough that you don't grease them. If you go play in the mud, the water, you know what metal does to metal when it ain't got grease between it. It just sticks. It rusts, and then it's hard to get out. So you got a big mess, just kind of give it a water barrier like coating.
See how Harmon was explaining to y'all that the bolt goes inside of this tube. Well, there's no grease that gets in there. the grease is on the outside of the tube and on the bushing. And he likes to put a little bit of marine grease on the bolt itself because it's inside of that sleeve. And really the only time you notice that there's an issue is when you go to remove these. Yeah, when you take it apart way down the road to service your bushings and replace them, you'll have a hard time getting your bolts out because there may be some rust and stuff build up over the few years when it's time to replace them. So that's the purpose of the grease he's putting on the bolts. Just a little trick that he's learned over the years. Really, this is pretty simple now. It's just lining your arms back up and putting the bolts in and tightening them down.
Turn this, and maybe, and no. Oh, doo-doo.
Got some explaining to do here. This is our first time on the Z-Force Sport to do this heavy duty tie rod install with the arms because, well, we just released these, right? And this is the install video. Something we ran into that we want to make sure you don't miss is before you install these heavy duty tie rods, go ahead and put in your upper A-arm, because now with these heavy duty tie rods, well, let me explain. Before, with the OEM tie rods, it don't have that big, well, you're gonna go get it? Okay.
It's a big knuckle, but once it
Yeah.
goes in.
This one's shorter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you could get your bolt out.
that's right. So the new heavy duty tie rod, this part right here is way bigger. It sticks
twice
way
as
out.
long.
Yeah, it's twice as long. And we were able to turn
All
the
the way
steering,
in
yeah,
and
the
pull
steering
it
rack all the way in and get the bolt in and out. But with this new heavy duty tie rod, this part is way bigger, and therefore we can't suck it all the way in and get the bolt in and out. And also you can't turn it out this way because the steering shaft here is too thick, or it's just right in the way
Yeah.
of the bolt hole. So long story short, put
the
your
A-arm on
upper
first, and
A-arm
then
on first,
these,
and then then the
and you won't
heavy
have no
duty tie rod.
problems. But if you do, what we're going to do, we're going to go in here and loosen up these the steering rack
Yeah.
bolts.
Yeah.
Just let it drop back a little and
Yeah,
down.
that's right.
Slide that right in,
And then
tighten
bolt it
that
right back up. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, Harmon is, instead of undoing the boot and all that stuff that we've done torque down, he's just gonna loosen those 4 nuts here that hold the steering rack on, let it drop down a little bit, and then just put the bolt in, okay? So guys, in this part of the process, make sure you get your upper arm first
yeah.
if you're doing the heavy duty tie rod install.
Yeah.
If not, if you're leaving your stock OEM tie rods, you won't have this problem. Just suck it in all the way, and then it's tight. It's still a tight fit, but it'll work. Okay, so just wanted to clarify that. All right, now that we've got our little situation fixed, we just unbolted the 4 bolts holding in the power steering rack there, and now we were able to slide that bolt on in. We went ahead and did both sides, and now we're just putting the nuts on each side, and Harmon is tightening them down. So we got them in on both sides. As you can see, just pull that back. Tighten all your nuts and bolts down. We're gonna get our rack back bolted in place, and then we'll put our knuckles on. Okay, so now you can see that Harmon is putting the ball joints in place on the outer part of the arms, just putting the castle nuts on. And he's already done the passenger side, getting them tight, and then you just want to line up that hole so you can get your cotter pins in. And just repeat that on both sides, and then we'll bolt up. Well, we have to start getting our alignment on our tie rods, and we'll bolt them in place. And then, of course, we'll have to set it down, scrub it out to really dial it in, but we can get it pretty close in the air. Just went ahead and started putting our brake assembly back on, and we've got our tie rods in place, and we've got them pretty doggone close. Now we're getting our passenger side brakes lined up and mounted up, getting the brake pad in place. So to talk about the adjustment with your tie rod is going to control your toe in and toe out. And just want to show you here on this one that's sitting down on the ground. If this had toe in, the front of this tire would be pointing in, and this tire would be pointing in if you had toe in, and they would point in at each other, okay? And if you had toe out, these tires, the front of the tires would be kicked out, and it'd be doing like a V coming out away from the machine. And typically when you have toe out, the machine will want to kind of wander around. It's not as stable. But if you have a 0 degree toe in, obviously it's supposed to run straight and true. But normally I like to have just a degree of toe in. That way everything is driving in forward and trying to go straight towards each other. But really your safest bet is to be at 0 degrees. And if you feel like your machine, when you're going down a road or hard pack trail, if it's kind of wandering around, I would kind of go in just a degree or two on your toe in. Make sure you don't have any toe out. I think that's the worst, in my opinion, is if you're a degree to the toe outside. Anyways, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. We got it set down. We're scrubbing it back out. We've done made all of our adjustments on our tie rods. And guys, that's it as far as the installation process goes. I hope that this video was helpful. And man, if you want to build a run, these 34s like I showed you in the intro of this video, this is what you need right here at teammscparts.com. If you need tire and wheel combo kits, lift kits, windshields, clutch kits, tunes, we got you covered, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And guys, that's a beauty. Shoo! Tell me what you think down below. Again, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. God bless y'all. As always, remember to keep it real. We'll see you in the next one.